Hey there, I hope it's not too windy for my internal mic. 4 weeks, and I'll be on the Camino Portugues. Starting on May 3rd, I go to Porto, and May 4th, should be Sunday, I'm on the Camino. From Porto to Santiago, Fistera, Muxia. Should be, I don't know, maybe 17, 18 days. Roughly 400 kilometers. It's nice. And I bought new shoes. It's gonna be my 9th Camino. And I think I know something about shoes. I've seen everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And I know enough that I can say I do not recommend you anything at all. This is your feet, your shoes, your Camino, your lesson. My first Camino boots were from Meindl. Meindl Identity something. Made in Germany. Pure leather. Heavy. Ugly as hell. But they took me to Santiago without a single blister. And that's awesome for the first Camino. Not many people did that. Then I switched to Merrell, US brand. Merrell Moab Ventilator. Was a horrible experience. Tons of blisters, and I lost a toenail. After that, I switched back to Meindl. Don't know the name anymore. But after, I don't know, 500 kilometers, the seams at the cap broke on both sides at the same time. Pretty shitty. Now switched to barefoot shoes. Don't even want to mention that. Was awful. My last shoes, again, Meindl boots. Don't ask me for the model. Waterproof. But after some 100 kilometers on the first Camino, the shoes were 50% leather, 50% mesh, and the mesh fabric broke. And I had holes on both sides. Was not much more with the waterproof. Now my personal problem is that my feet are pretty wide. And Meindl, and maybe one or other model from other brands, are the only shoes where my feet fit in. So I have not much of a choice. All those fancy stuff like Lova, Salomon, Scarpa, I cannot do that. Too narrow. I tell you one thing. My first Meindl boots were about 200 euros. It's okay. Second Meindl boots, I don't know, 230. The last ones, 230, 250, something. But they're not made in Germany anymore. They are now made in China. And meanwhile, when I look at the prices, boots, Meindl boots, between 250 and 300 euros. It's ridiculous. And I tell you what, a company that is constantly cutting down the quality and the production costs, while at the same time raising the prices. Sorry, Meindl, I don't support that. The shoes that I bought now are from Globetrotter, house brand, Quechua. Low-cut shoes, leather, supposed to be waterproof, 60 euros. Cannot be worse than Meindl. Now, do you need hiking shoes at all for the Camino? Nah. I've seen people walking in sneakers. I met a girl from Namibia. She walked the entire Camino in flip-flops. I met a guy from California on my first Camino. 78. He walked the Camino barefoot. And I mean barefoot, not barefoot shoes. And they all arrived at Santiago. Whereas other people with their 300 euros hiking boots, They quit after 1 week. Do you need shoes? No. Huge parts of the Camino are on streets, asphalt, cobblestones. You don't need hiking boots. But there are some places on the Camino. They're pretty nasty, rocky, steep, slippery, downhill. And you wish you had real hiking shoes. Now, if you decide to buy shoes, never, ever buy any shoes that you haven't had on your foot. Buy your shoes at your local outfitter. Do not, and I repeat, not buy your shoes online. You will pay for that. Mind my words. And what you also shouldn't do is go to your local outfitter, annoy everybody around you for 2 hours, go back home without buying anything, and then order the shoes online because they are 10 euros cheaper. If you do that, first of all, you're a nasty person, shame on you. Second, usually it doesn't work, because every shoe is different, even if it's the same brand and the same model. Now, when you're at the shop and you try on your shoes and you say, oh, nice, that's not bad. It is. Not bad is not good enough for the Camino. If you put on your shoes and you say, wow, and you're missing any other words, that's your shoes. Buy those shoes. No matter the brand, the model, the looks, the price. Or maybe you think, well, I don't need any new shoes. I have some pretty good shoes at home. Always keep in mind, that's a difference if you go on a nice and cozy weekend hike for 25k, or if you go on a hike 25k every day for weeks. That is a huge difference. Don't underestimate that. Now I'll tell you what is important to me when it's about shoes. First off, always calculate some money for insoles. The insoles that come with the shoes are rubbish, garbage. I have some insoles from Carex, Hiker Pro. I don't know. If I find them on Amazon, I put an affiliate link in the description. I paid, I don't know, 60 euros for that. Ridiculous for insoles. But in comparison, it's like walking on clouds. Trust me. Second, rough profile. Not only for the grip, but also, most important, easy to clean. Because Sammelberg is kind of picky. Next, shoes should be somewhat waterproof. 100% waterproof doesn't exist in my experience, but somehow it's nothing worse than walking in wet shoes, or even worse, starting the new day in wet shoes. You don't want that. Then, of course, your shoes have to be 1.5 or 2 sizes bigger than usual, because your feet will swell and you want to avoid at all costs that your toes touch the top of your shoe. You know what I mean. But most important, you have to feel comfy. Comfort is about everything else. Doesn't matter how they look, how much they cost, which brand, which model. You have to feel awesome. If you don't, it's not your shoe. And trust me, if the shoe is not 100% your shoe, you can get problems not only with your feet, you can get problems with your calves, with your knees, even with your back. That's ridiculous, all because of the wrong shoes. So much for that. I'm pretty sure I forgot something, as usual. That's just because I don't have any script. That's the charm of my videos. So far, see you soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned. And I don't know, maybe one Camino.